the biggest challenge for GM right now?
Well, I'd say near term we have to ensure that our supply chain on a global basis is secure, and but that's the near-term tactical objective right now.
Do you feel you're in a shape now where you will not have to do any more plant closings because of the shortages of parts, or are you still concerned about that?
Well, just to be perfectly clear, we closed one plant in the United States for 5 days. And we did that to make sure that we had adequate supplies, because as we were coming out of the tsunami, within days we closed that plant to make sure that we had adequate parts for our U.S. operations, and that was successful, and we started back up the following Monday. So that's the only plant closing we've had in North America. We closed 2 plants quickly for 1 week again in Europe to make sure we had adequate parts, because we had an obligation with our represented employees, our union employees, and they started up the following Monday. So we've had virtually no production interruption since the disaster.
What about
I don't think we'll have any problems going forward, given what we know today. And as I said during my remarks, we're particularly focused in the semiconductor area in terms of control within the car. But we're feeling better than we did a month ago, and a lot better than we did 5 weeks ago.
Are you in discussions with Treasury to sell another chunk of GM shares this summer?
The Treasury will make that decision. It's not our call.
Mr. Akerson, you mentioned moving up the Malibu. What's GM's appetite, its capability to do that on other product programs, perhaps trucks, your full-size trucks?
Well, trucks would not be specific. That would be not a program we'd move up in a mileage-sensitive market. No, we actually, as I've said before, we have very ambitious plans for product introductions around the globe. In the U.S. this year, we were very fortunate. In our product introductions, they happened to be the fuel-efficient ones. The Cruise came out in November. We really got started rolling first quarter. 50-some thousand in the first quarter. Great start. You got the Sonic, you've got the Verano, and you've got the Cruise all coming out this year. All very fuel-efficient cars. So the deeper we get into the year from a cost of petrol, gas in this country, the healthier we become. So I'm pretty satisfied with where we are competitively in the marketplace.
You had said up there that if you didn't do anything, you got criticized. If you did something, you got criticized. Do you feel now that you've done things that you're starting to get more respect as people see what you're doing?
I think anytime you're new, everybody's going to wonder what the new guy's going to do. And, quite frankly, I was probably a little thin-skinned coming out of private equity into a public corporation. So in fairness, it just seemed to me that regardless of what I was doing, there was some observations made.
But Mullally did the same thing. He came out of it.
I know. I talked to Alan. And,
We'll take one last question.
Dan, do you think the decline in stock price, is that going to delay the government's exit from GM? Are you still eager to see them get out as fast as possible?
Let me correct one thing you just said. I'm not eager about anything. They will tell us when they're getting out. I will not tell them when they're getting out. And I don't know what's going to go into their calculus. I think there are many, many variables in their consideration, and they don't share that with us. They'll notify us when they want to position for the sale, and it's our obligation as, I think, good corporate citizens to facilitate that.
Right. What do you think can increase the stock price?
I think a huge run-up in the Dow Industrials would help. Thank you.
Oh, is that Ramsey's? I'll give it to him.
The Volt.
Well, first of all, there was not a fire in the Volt. There were 2 cars in that garage. One was a Suzuki that he had completely rewired himself. We've had engineers on location since the day it happened, and everything seems to point to other factors. We spent a lot of money. There are a lot of checks, and there are a lot of safety features to the car. We are reasonably sure at this stage in time, not perfectly sure, but we're reasonably sure that it is not a Volt issue. Time will tell.